Alrighty, I hope you guys are ready. We have got the TLC review show with YouTube's The Botch Guy. We discuss Charlotte's return, the Fiend being set on fire, Drew McIntyre retaining the WWE Championship, Roman Reigns retaining the Universal Championship, and why this pay-per-view made us feel like kids again. Let's get it all started right now.
Welcome to the WWE Podcast, the most passionate and authentic wrestling analysis on the web. We've got you covered with every Raw, SmackDown, and NXT show, giving you a no bullshit opinion. We know you love wrestling. We do too. So let's get this show underway.
And that's the bottom line. What? 'Cause Stone Cold said so.
Oh, yes, everybody. It is time for your TLC review show with YouTube's own The Botch Guy. No better person to have on for this show. Nobody with better energy, knowledge, and passion than The Botch Guy. So get yourselves ready as we discuss TLC in over an hour review show. So I hope you guys loved long-form audio because that's what we got for you right now. And we're going to get everything going in just a minute. But first, if you haven't joined us before, thank you so much. We are here about 7 times a week with various shows covering everything from NXT to the highs and lows of the week to the weekend review to Raw and SmackDown, everything in between. We got it all covered for you right here on the WWE Podcast. And we also have a website that is currently being repaired, WWEpodcast.com. That should be up in the next few days and hopefully back up and running better than ever. So thank you guys for checking us out. You can really hit us up anywhere on Instagram on WWE_podcast or on Twitter at Wrestling_audio. I'm still trying to get my old Twitter account unsuspended, but Twitter is just, boy, they are vicious. It's been suspended for about 7 months now. Don't know why, couldn't tell you. But they don't like my account. I don't know if I put something on there that was offensive. I don't think I did. But nonetheless, we are on all social media platforms if you'd like to give us a follow. Or you can also go to Patreon. If you don't want the commercials, patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Get the entire podcast library, the WWE Podcast library, for just $1. You get no ads. Every single show, all ads removed for just $1 a month. It's I mean, if that's not a good value, I don't know what is, but head on over there to Patreon if you'd like to join us there. You can also get on the show and have your own co-hosting show right here if you get to the pay-per-view tier level. Now, we also have a WWE Podcast mailbag. If you want to send in your voicemail and let me know what you think about the pay-per-view, well, there's a simple way to do that. You can email us at realwwepodcast@gmail.com, or if you want to call us, the more efficient way is to leave us a voicemail. 518-952-0247. That's 518-952-0247. And you can leave us a voicemail. Let me know what you guys thought about The Fiend being set on fire, Charlotte's return, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens having a career night, and so much more on this TLC pay-per-view that, honestly, I don't think I've ever been so positive on a pay-per-view review show as I was this time around. And I know you guys are typically used to me ranting, raving about certain things. And there were, it wasn't a perfect pay-per-view in my eyes, but certainly one that I would say WWE saved the best for last. And I don't think they meant to do that. It just kind of happened. It was just, from a wrestling perspective, in-ring was so damn good for most of the matches, and so we'll break it down in just a minute. But I just want to say thank you guys. We'll be back Tuesday with your Monday Night Raw review, and Wednesday is your typical schedule, right? We got the whole NXT review coming on Thursday, but Wednesday is nostalgia, and the mailbag is also on Thursday. So, boy oh boy, lots of audio coming your way, even on this Christmas week, as Christmas is just 4 days away. If you're celebrating, hope you got your gifts and didn't wait till the last minute like I do every single year. And I say I'm not going to do it, and I do it every year. So that's my Christmas tradition is, not even intentionally, is getting my gifts late or missing the shipping dates or whatever. So hopefully you guys are more caught up than I am. Alrighty, here we go, guys. It's the Botch Guy and myself covering WWE TLC right now. All right, it is the WWE TLC review show, and you know what that means, guys. We have YouTube's The Botch Guy, the fastest growing wrestling channel right now on YouTube. At least one of the fastest. I'm really glad he's here because we've got so much to talk about on a pay-per-view that I think over-delivered in an insane way. And what a hot ending to the show. So welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
Well, we witnessed the murder live on the pay-per-view today, so that's always interesting. I'm doing amazing, man. I hope you're doing well, man. Thanks for having me here once again. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's really good to have you. And if you guys, by the way, if you haven't subscribed already, please go subscribe to The Botch Guy. He puts up like YouTube videos so fast. And we just talked about this off the air. He actually, he'll spoil the outcome for me because I don't often watch live. I'm always on delay. So subscribe, but be careful. He's so damn quick and good that it'll be popping up in your notifications faster than you can watch the results.
You know, I tell I have like over 60,000 people on there, and I tell them all, listen, hit the notification button, that's fine. Subscribe to me, that's fine. But put your phone down before a match ends, because there's a good chance I'm going to react to it, and there's a good chance I'm going to be making some videos pretty quickly. And I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but as you know, sometimes I'm just pretty quick, and it's not like I'm trying to brag or anything. It's just, you know, the way YouTube works, man. But yeah, I really appreciate you having me on. If you guys don't know, I'm the Botch Guy. I do YouTube channel. I also do a Twitch channel, Positive Vibe 604, if you don't mind me plugging that. Yeah, basically, I just do reactions and parodies and botches and a whole bunch of stuff. And apparently now a permanent member of the WWE podcast, pay-per-view special
show, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, that's exactly what we are. And some of your videos had me cracking up. I was telling you about this off the air too, but I said that the whole Otis reaction to beating Shinsuke Nakamura made me lose it, because you were just so obscenely angry about Otis flattening Shinsuke Nakamura in about 3 minutes, and then the reaction about The Rock coming back to talking smack, and it was just so funny. And I think I heard your wife in the background. It was hilarious. So guys, check it out. If you, I don't want to spoil the rest of it, but check it out. It's on YouTube's Under the Botch Guy, so hit that subscribe button. Now, let's get to the pay-per-view, because this was, and you and I agree, was probably the best pay-per-view WWE has had in 2020. So it looks like they've saved the best for last. What made this so damn good in your mind? And we'll get to the individual matches, but just kind of an overview. What made this so good in your mind?
You know, it's funny because even off air, we were talking about how it always seems to be the card that is the worst always seems to have some of the best pay-per-views. And I guess the recipe, I guess you could probably say, is I think the wrestlers itself put in an unbelievable work ethic. And I felt like, I don't know what happened behind the scenes with not just the wrestlers, but production and everything, but everything was spot on. The camera work was spot on today. The promos were spot on today. The wrestling was really good. Unique spots, unique writing, and just memorable moments. Like, listen, how often have we actually said recently that there's been a huge memorable moment in the WWE that doesn't revolve someone returning? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then that's my point. Like, it was just an incredible pay-per-view, and we're going to talk all about it. It was just unbelievable.
It was so good. It had me feeling like a little kid. And when WWE can do that and they get me invested in a match that I pretty much know what's going to happen, but then they have me believing, well, wait a minute, could this not happen? That's when they've got me. And you and I have been watching wrestling for so long that it's not easy to do. And, you know, perhaps it is a little bit of motivation from their record low ratings of Vince McMahon giving everyone a kick in the ass and saying, hey, you know, we got to get ourselves together. We got to get remotivated. We got to get back on track. And perhaps it was lighting a fire under everybody and reigniting their passion, reigniting their effort, reigniting, you know, why they're here and why they love to do what they do. Perhaps it was a little bit of that, but I want to first talk about the last thing that we all saw in this obscene moment of Randy Orton lighting the Fiend on fire flat out. And yes, it was a dummy. We all know that. But I mean, we don't care, because it was just absolutely absurd. As you said, it was committing murder in front of millions of people. First of all, what did you think about the match? And what did you think about Randy Orton lighting the Fiend on fire?
I thought the match was awesome from the very beginning to the very end. They had unique creative spots. I loved how the ring looked. Originally when they put the fire up, I was like, it kind of looks a little less fiery for an Inferno match. But then as the match kind of did it, and I don't know, I think it was the camera work. I'm telling you, something about the production today was just unbelievable, because even when they were far away from the fire, the camera was like placed in an angle that made it look like they were much closer and the fire much bigger. And it just enhanced those little moments during the match. And just leading up to like having the tease of him being on fire earlier in the match, I thought was brilliant. And then, of course, the last spot, the holy bleep moment, it was absolutely mind-numbing. I couldn't believe it. I know it was a dummy. I get it. But like when the WWE said we need to raise the ratings, we're going to be a little more mature, I didn't think committing a murder was on their number one list. But hey, man, that's definitely more mature than it was before. That's for sure. So I thought it was spectacular, and it was a great moment, and it ended the show. Now, I know you're going to talk about it too, which I want to hear for sure. I will ask you a quick question at the very end here, because I'm curious what you're thinking about the whole Fiend losing now to Randy Orton. Does it affect you?
So, to answer your question first, before I get into the details of the match, I think no. I think this doesn't hurt the Fiend. In fact, I actually think it helps enhance him, which is insane. And here's why. Yes, the Fiend lost, but did he really lose? Because he didn't get pinned, he didn't submit, he wasn't counted out, nothing happened that would actually say, it was a clean loss. That's what this match was there for. It was to protect him if he loses, and he lost, but it also is like, well, what's going to happen with the Fiend character? So your focus isn't on the person that won. Your focus is actually on the person that lost and was set on fire. So in a weird way, the loser actually was the winner here of the Fiend. So that's my answer to that. As far as the match itself goes, I really didn't dislike it. I thought it was gonna be some kind of hokey, possibly pre-produced theatrical presentation that I'm not a fan of which WWE took part in many pay-per-views over the spring and summer. And I was concerned it was going to be like that, and they didn't do that. And to your point, the whole camera work throughout the show, maybe that's what made it so damn good to me, beyond it not being pre-produced backstage in some forest, maybe in the middle of an old abandoned house or some weird thing. No, they did it in the ring, and that was great. And, yes, could the fire have been a little bit closer to the ring like it was with, Undertaker and Kane back in the day when they had their Inferno matches? I mean, it could have, but this worked. It's safer, number one, for the performers, which is obviously a priority. But the spots throughout it were really well done, and, you're thinking, like, oh my God, like, how are they not going to get burned right now? And he set the trail of gasoline to the chair, and Randy Orton sitting there, and you're like, oh my God, like, this was really, really well done, and I can't believe I'm saying that about a gimmick match such like this. Like, typically, gimmick matches are just like, you kind of groan, and it's usually a cover for something, or a crutch to kind of hide the fact that this is probably not going to be a great match. No, this was really good, and the Fiend being set on fire, I mean, yes, it was basically committing murder, but in pro wrestling land, it's just you were trying to beat your opponent. I mean, so there's a difference between real life, obviously, and pro wrestling, but I'm really wondering, and this is my question to you, where the hell did they go with the Fiend now? Because they set him on fire, Randy Orton set him on fire. He's going to come back. The Fiend is not eliminated. I mean, he'll find a way back, but where do they go from here with the Fiend? I mean, you've gone to the most extreme thing you can do. So what happens next with the Fiend?
Oh boy, that is quite the question, because I thought they were going to be doing some stuff with Alexa Bliss. I thought they were going to show off kind of his weakness, and he overcomes the weakness. That was my theory going into that match, and then when it ended the way it did, and then moving forward, it's quite interesting. Maybe just now, hear me out here. Maybe just maybe you might have another bit of a gimmick transition. I'm not talking about a gimmick change. I'm not talking about he's suddenly not the Fiend anymore. I'm not talking about anything like that. What I'm talking about is maybe an evolution. Maybe there's like a new, I don't know, maybe he gets some sort of like a burnt mask or something now. Maybe he's going to be even more sadistic than he was before. Maybe he's going to do some crazier stuff, because again, the WWE wants to be more edgy every single time, especially because they're getting absolutely destroyed on the ratings right now. So it's definitely interesting. Obviously, the Randy Orton Fiend storyline is not done. For the first time in a long time, with the Fiend character, I'm actually not sure. Like, I'm kind of just curious what the WWE is going to come up with on Monday Night Raw tomorrow.
Yeah, I really don't know either. And typically you have an idea, okay, the Fiend won. He's the guy that no-sells everything. I mean, he's that character. I mean, we saw it happen at Hell in a Cell infamously last year with Seth Rollins, and it has been that way since, and he hasn't lost since, other than Goldberg, that we all just pretend didn't happen. I mean, he has been undefeated. I mean, technically, in my mind, he has. So, I don't know. We all know that the Fiend is going to evolve. I think that's a safe bet, as you just said. I don't think he's going to be gone. That would be absurd. That is certainly not the way that they're going. But yeah, this is not over. I think that it continues through the Royal Rumble, which is 6 weeks away, by the way, guys. 6 weeks. That's an eternity and a half in pro wrestling world, especially with WWE, the way they crank out pay-per-views. 6 weeks.
Is there no pay-per-view in between there?
No. Not that I saw, because they advertised the Rumble next. So January 31st is the next pay-per-view. They have 6 weeks, and you can hear the collective groan in Stamford, Connecticut of how the hell are we going to get through, 6 times, 18 hours of Monday Night Raw, right? I mean, like, how are they going to do this? I'm sure they're like, what are we going to do, guys? There's going to be a whole lot of, like, fluff. Especially with next week being Christmas week and SmackDown falls on a Christmas, you can kind of throw next week out in terms of some creative, especially on SmackDown. But yeah, so 6 weeks, guys. So we got a long time to speculate in terms of the Royal Rumble. And yeah, I mean, I'm overall though, just to kind of put a bow on this match, I enjoyed it, and I know there's a lot of people out there. I've already been contacted by people that thought it was a complete disaster, and I don't know what you were expecting. You know, if you dislike this match, I mean, if you don't like this match, what do you think people didn't like about it? I mean,
I don't know anybody who didn't like it. That was a perfectly booked match. Like, I know that sounds funny because there's no such thing as a perfectly booked. No, that was, in my opinion, that was a perfectly booked match. Think about it. A match where the Fiend loses, one of the most popular characters in wrestling right now, and no one is upset. The reason why no one is upset, because of how he lost, because of how strong he looked, and how memorable the final moment was. And it's just so exciting to see what they're going to do moving forward. And apparently Vince McMahon says there's going to be crazy changes coming in Monday Night Raw. I know SmackDown's doing the Christmas stuff. And by the way, Matt, I am a huge fan. I'm not joking. I'm not sarcastic. I'm a huge fan of the Christmas episodes in the WWE.
Really?
I think those are some of the best episodes. They're hilarious.
No, they're usually.
Don't you remember Braun Strowman grabbing Santa Claus and throwing Santa Claus across the ring onto the outside and nailing someone with them? That was hilarious.
Yeah,
come on.
I mean, there have been moments, but in terms of anything significantly creative happening or progression in storylines, I think that's really what I'm looking towards. You know, and they always have to set up fake Christmas boxes or gift boxes at the top of the ramp, and someone inevitably goes through it, which are just a bunch of empty boxes. I mean, it's predictable. It's kind of a spin your wheels, tread water show, and that's why I guess I'm not looking forward to the Christmas edition. And everyone references presents as I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, I mean, I have a gift for you. Okay, it's kind of like a trope that's just overused, but nonetheless,
where's your Christmas spirit?
It's not with Vince McMahon. Okay, like I'm not a Christmas WWE fan when they mix these two together. It's so tired. You just know what to expect every year. But anyway, this match, this is the final thing I'll say on this match, is that you're right with the ratings, as we mentioned, that this is a big change that I think is coming with WWE, and this I think was the first step. This was the message that they're sending, and they wanted everyone to remember. That's why this went on last. I thought it was going to be one of the TLC matches. I thought it was actually going to end with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, which I mean, we'll get to that match later, but I think that could have easily been the match to end the show. But the fact that they ended this with that match with Randy Orton and The Fiend, with that image of The Fiend being lit on fire, is certainly not PG, and it sent the message to the probably USA Network, who was losing their minds over the ratings, and fans to say, hey, things are changing right now. I think, would you agree that it's a message that was sent to the fans and USA?
Oh, 1,000,000%. That it was one of the most clearest messages I've seen that a wrestling company or any company's made in a while to basically the product. Because, you know, I'm not sure how much you keep up with AEW, but, you know, they've been doing such an incredible job recently, and they've always been concise with their message. So the WWE's kind of fluctuated for a little while now, and a lot of people like to blame, you know, Drew, the ratings killer, or, you know, how they're booking and all this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to writing, and it all comes down to moments. And they haven't had a lot of them. And guess what? Tonight, they did.
They did, and that's what it's exactly about, is creating that buzz. And you can bet right now people are talking about the Fiend being lit on fire. Love it, hate it, or indifferent about it. People are talking about it, and that's what Vince McMahon's big moniker is. Hey, you know, no press is good, or no what is it? No publicity is bad publicity is what he says. So I think that's what he's going for here. Okay, AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre opened the show here with the TLC match. I'm going to toss the baton to you first. What did you think about this match? Were you blown away? Were you underwhelmed? And were you surprised by the outcome?
Hey, quickly, you cut out there. Can you just repeat the match one more time?
Oh, yeah. It was AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So, man, another match where I thought they had some great, incredible moments. Like, I guess that's the way you could talk about this pay-per-view, is just moment after moment. So let's just start kind of moving forward with what happened. They had some pretty decent transition spots with the tables, of course, with the ladders, and almost kind of just being there. You know, it's kind of funny is in the Roman Reigns match where Jey Uso comes out like instantly, right? Like within like seconds of the match, but almost is just kind of chilling there for 20 minutes before he gets involved. It was a good back and forth affair. I thought they had a lot of chemistry together, which is always nice to see, because that was their first time in the match together. Like, this is the first time they wrestled together, so it was kind of interesting to see. I love how AJ Styles was focusing on the left leg, the left knee there, because you got to cut down the giant, right? It made a lot of sense. Some of the calf crushers with the ladders I thought was a nice, cool, brilliant spots. They didn't have too many high flying spots, which is fine. Like, you don't have to have the Young Bucks every single week. You know what I mean? You don't have to have high flying spots every single week. It doesn't have to happen that way, or every single time there's a match like this, right? So it's kind of nice to see a different pace of a match. But that being said, when of course, you know, the Miz came out, and I have a theory. Let me just quickly go through the end, and I'll tell you my theory. So when the Miz came out, and of course he cashed in the Money in the Bank, right? Brief contract there. It was kind of interesting because I knew before this match. I did a prediction show on my channel, the Botch Guy channel, and basically I said that this is going to happen. It's going to turn into a triple threat match, and he's going to lose the contract. And I was pretty certain was going to happen. So when it happened, I wasn't as kind of shocked that it happened, but it made sense. It was good writing. It was good booking. What did you think?
It was, to me, I actually picked AJ Styles to win this match. I really did. I thought he was going to capture the championship, but once I saw it on the first match of the show, I said, they're not going to make a big change in the first match of the show. Typically, something big like that would happen at the end of the show, so it's the last thing you remember. But so I immediately go, I lose. You know, Drew's winning. But they had me believing at certain times, and almost is the guy that he's such a magnetic visual on the screen. Like, you want to watch and everything that he does, and it looks like he is going to continue to be the bodyguard or associate of AJ Styles, and he's there in a limited capacity. He's obviously not to the level, as you mentioned, of Jey Uso coming out immediately and getting involved and trying to help Roman Reigns blatantly. Almost is there in a way that kind of is almost the enforcer rather than the family member of AJ. and getting involved in a limited capacity. But The Miz coming out and cashing in, I'm glad that we finally got the cash in. It wasn't just handing it to the referee, and the referee just for whatever reason, can't hand it to the ring announcer fast enough to ring the bell. I mean, there's always that delay of like a minute, and you're like, what are we waiting for? It should be the second you hand it to the referee, it's cashed in, like immediately. There's no delay, but we finally get the cash in, the failed cash in. It makes sense that the cash in failed, and they just wanted to get it off the Miz before they get into WrestleMania season, because I'm sure they're thinking, well, we don't know what to do with it in January. We got the Rumble, and then it's Mania season. We don't know what to do with it until after WrestleMania. And by that time, he's almost going to have the Money in the Bank briefcase expire by May. So it makes
Hey, Matt,
sense.
you want me to break your heart right now?
No, go ahead, shatter it.
And all the people on podcast here, get ready for a bombshell that the Botch Guy is about to drop, because this is happening today. This is your personal spoiler, okay? This is not something I read. This is just my theory, okay?
Uh-oh.
And it's the greatest theory of all time, and I believe. The Miz did not cash in the Money in the Bank contract.
No.
Actually, John Morrison actually had the briefcase in his hand, and he cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase, which means the Miz technically did not cash it in. It was a mistake by the referee. And in my theory, in Monday Night Raw, the Miz, or it was SmackDown, I'm not sure which show he's on, I forgot now. But basically, the Miz is going to go on, he's going to complain, and he's going to say, you know what? I did not cash it in. It was Morrison who cashed it in, which means he is still the Money in the Bank contract holder.
You are killing me. You are killing me.
What do you think about that?
No,
It makes sense, though, because if you look at the visual, they zoomed in on Morrison,
Yeah.
they zoomed in on the Money in the Bank, they focused on Morrison, they weren't focusing on the Miz, and the referee basically said he's cashing in. Remember, when he came out, the Miz didn't have the championship. It was Morrison with it the whole time, the way through. There you go, buddy.
Well,
Bombshell.
It is a bombshell that I want nothing to do with, and it really, like, you are like poisoning my soul when I think about that, because I'm like, good, finally we can move on from this. Here's the thing though. I don't think you're wrong. I think there's a solid chance of that happening. It fits right in with the Miz character. There is that technicality that's living there. Certainly it could happen. I would say probably not, but I'd give it like a 1 in 4 chance of WWE going, yeah, you know what? Like, look, in the Miz coming out and doing his Miz TV or Dirt Sheet or whatever the hell he does every single Monday night. Boy, oh boy, damn it. Now you've got that in my mind. But
also, Matt, like, if you think about it, you can go two ways with this Morrison. You can basically, you can have Miz get mad at him, right? Mm-hmm. Or you could just be like, this was the plan all along. So he has a free chance to cash it in, right? And they're still friends. But the question is, where do they go from here? Like, where does the Miz and Morrison, again, where do they go from here now?
The Miz and Morrison, probably continuing to just be, the freshman in high school type of humor that they do every single Monday night, and doing Braveheart reenactments and doing story time of the Nightmare Before Christmas, Nightmare Before TLC, whatever the hell they did last week. All this stuff that, I am not, if you couldn't tell, I cannot stand the Miz and Morrison characters, and I don't mean in a heel heat, I want to see someone kick their ass way. I mean in like an embarrassing, I want to change the channel way. Like that's
correct.
That is, yeah. Oh my God, no, stop.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. That is, that's the problem with them. They are characters that don't evolve. They are stuck in time. They are stuck in 2009, and they have not evolved. The Miz did back in 2016. Morrison comes back, and boom, instantly they get in a time machine together and get stuck back in 2009 or whenever the heck they were a tag team originally. It is the worst. They are the embodiment of everything wrong with WWE today. Like, if I was to package it into a tag team, they would be it. But anyway, I'm getting way off track, and I do want to talk quickly about this match before we move on to the next one. You're right. The whole psychology of the match, focusing on a body part, is not done enough. I don't mean to say it has to happen every single time, but focusing on that body part, when the heel picks a body part and continues to attack and attack and attack, it tells a great story. It also has allows the announcers to help guide that story into that babyface trying to overcome that leg injury, that arm injury, that thigh injury, whatever it is, and having him try to climb that ladder. It makes it that much more dramatic. It was great psychology. The match was very well laid out, almost in having the chair break on his back and just basically disintegrate on his back and not even sell anything. I mean, he didn't even blink, and that chair didn't even do anything. So I'm looking forward. What are you looking forward to with Omos? Do you think that he's going to get involved in ring more and more, or do you think he's just going to kind of be that super intimidating, not so much involved figure with AJ Styles?
I feel like he actually has personality, and when he talks on the microphone, he's actually kind of funny. Like, he's legitimately kind of funny, and I don't know if you could get him into a wrestling match, because from the 3 seconds of what I saw him when he is involved, he seems kind of like the Great Khali.
Yeah,
I saw a lot. Like, it wasn't like Braun Strowman when he came in. Like, he looked still pretty smooth. Like, I don't know. I don't see much there when it comes to wrestling yet. You know, of course, he works on it over time and he'll get much better. I want him to be just the big guy, you know, with AJ for now, a little bit longer, maybe up to Royal Rumble season. They'll do something else there. But I want to see more of his personality come out. I want to see him talk more. I want to see him get more engaged, because again, when he had that little backstage segment with Matt Riddle and all of them, like, I thought it was super funny. I legitimately laughed at some of the jokes. So, I thought it was pretty good. Like, I'm a fan. Like, I think he's fine. I like him. What do you think?
He's got the look. Yeah. I mean, he's got. You talk about having the look and the it factor on the screen. He has got that like stowed away. He is exactly what you're looking for in a wrestler, in a performer on screen. They have that it factor. He's got that. The other piece, obviously, is promos. That needs to come with time. That can be worked on. And the other part is in ring. He does kind of look very mechanical from the very, very limited things I've seen. He is like the Great Khali is a perfect example, because he is kind of like that discombobulated big man that's kind of like robotic moving, and hopefully over time he can kind of smooth things out, and maybe that's the plan, maybe it's not, but right now, either way, I'm loving him with AJ Styles every single week. So all right, well, I do want to move on to the SmackDown Women's Championship, Carmella versus Sasha Banks. I'm going to once again toss this to you first.
Why are you giving me all the hard work at the very beginning?
See, you're noticing. You're catching on to my trends. All right.
No, I'm just kidding. You don't know what I love about this pay-per-view? Like, when was the last time we said, man, that was a good match? Man, that was also a good match. You know what? That could have been one of the best matches on the show. And it's just like every match was kind of like that tonight. Like, the Sasha Banks Carmella match, once again, Carmella. I thought when I originally heard this gimmick change, I'm like, it's not going to work. And then I saw the promos and I'm like, it's not going to work. And then I saw the entrance. I'm like, okay, it might work. And then I saw her actually, like, her aggression, her development, like legitimate development, not just the way she talks, but just her overall development, going through it and really taking this character seriously. And she's really progressed so much. So when she had this match finally with Sasha Banks, I thought she did a fantastic job. I thought Sasha Banks carried her pretty well, but I thought Carmella held her own pretty solidly. The thing about Sasha Banks, and she's obviously loved by a lot of the hardcore people, and a lot of the casual people are finding out who she is, mostly because Mandalorian. I'm sure you know, she's a big, or not a big part, but she was a side character of the show, and she has got some casual press from that. And the fact is, she has literally started to develop into one of the mega stars in the WWE. She's not just a big wrestling person anymore. I think she's starting to hit a different demographic as well. And the fact that she's continuing to wrestle so well and not botch around. Like, remember back in the day, Sasha botched so much. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. It's just she's developed so incredibly well. Her attitude, her look, her style. I think she has probably the best fashion. I know, like, I'm a guy, but like, I think she probably has the best fashion out of everybody in the WWE as well. And I think a lot of casual people like that as well. And the hardcore crowd is happy with her because the wrestling is so good. So personally, I feel like the Sasha Carmella match was just great. Like, they just had pretty generic spots overall, but I thought they worked really well together, and I never thought that would be the case going into that match.
No, this is the first time they've been together in quite some time. Carmella is back off a refresh, which is great to see. I love her confidence. She oozes confidence, and I believe her confidence. It doesn't look like she's playing a character. She does feel like she's legitimately this way, and I love when that happens. And I'm loving everything about Carmella right now. Sasha Banks, we all know how good she is in the ring. There's no question she's crazy in the ring. She put herself on the line tonight in a way that she has like a death wish every time she gets in the ring. And I mean that in a good way, because she just doesn't give a damn about her body. And you saw the spiked face buster from Carmella. You could see, did you see in the back? I'm sure you did. Corey Graves and Michael Cole go, oh my God. Like, you saw them in the back lift their hands up and like waiting for somebody to like put the X up. I mean, that spiked face buster. I mean, you caught that, right?
Yeah, Corey Graves might have had to start looking for a new girlfriend, because should probably go call 911 on that one. Like, that was an unbelievable sell. And you all know what's very interesting about that spike, other than the fact that I thought the announcers also were on their game this pay-per-view. They were absolutely just calling it pretty well, even though Michael Cole, the table spot with the ladder, was so funny. I'm not sure if you caught that little Roman Reigns match or whatever, where he went through the table and he hit him with the ladder. Oh yeah, that's right. Yes. Powerbomb through the table. I'm like,
spike.
He's like, what do you call it? What do you call the spike buster? What do you call that? The spike move in wrestling.
The spike move?
The spike, like the one where he lifts him up with his hands and he knocks him down. Okay, that's a bad example.
Powerbomb?
No, it's called spike something. Anyway, so he had like a spike move, and he was like, oh, it's a power bomb when it was the spike move. Like, so he was a little off on that, but overall, by the way, all your listeners, you guys are going to have to help me on my channel. Tell me what that spike move is called.
Yeah, me too.
I'm actually curious.
Yeah, now I'm like, I can't put words to it.
Spine buster,
not
buster. Spike.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay.
Spine buster.
Oh my God, I'm such a jobber.
It's late, guys.
Yes, I did see it, and it was a great sell, and you can continue on.
Yeah, no. It was a point. I go, oh my God, and you're looking for Sasha because she's had neck problems in the past, and I legitimately was worried for the person at that point. And once you realize everything was okay, she sold it perfectly. That spike is just, oh my God, it's just devastating to see, but great in terms of if it's safe and it works in a match. It's so effective, and those two worked really well together. I hope these two go at it again. I hope this is not the end of the rivalry. And, yes, Sasha Banks won clean. Sasha Banks did end up having Carmella tap, but the key is, in any loss in wrestling, is to make sure that even the loser is made in the loss. And I think Carmella was absolutely made in the loss. As the announcers framed her as, she was very game. They say that a lot, almost too much, that everybody's game, everybody takes everyone to the limit. I'm not a fan of that. But in this case, this was very true. Carmella really brought her A game. She showed us that she's not just here to be a kind of a blonde bimbo that Vince always, Vince has like sometimes kind of a thing for blonde women in wrestling. Like, when you look back at all the women that have been in wrestling, a lot of them have been kind of the blonde, fake hair, fake this, fake that. Carmella is, she does have like the kind of blonde look to her that Vince seems to have liked over many years, but she has the in-ring, she's got the personality. Right now, Carmella is starting to, and you can see it in front of her eyes, put everything together. And to me, this was more about Carmella than it was about Sasha Banks. Because Sasha Banks, to me, while she's been really good in the ring, as I said earlier, I think that on the personality side, we never got that full turn. And I've said this many times on my show, we've never got that full turn to babyface from Sasha. She's just kind of been the arrogant, I'm the boss, and really not that full babyface. She just was, default babyface because Bayley attacked her and she wasn't smart enough to make sure or see it coming. I mean, I don't know. I have big problems with the whole Bayley Sasha payoff that they did last month, 2 months ago. Big problems.
I will say this, and I know this is going to sound absolutely kind of crazy. Honestly, I'm liking this Sasha Banks with Carmella feud already better than what some of the last 3 months they had with Sasha and Bayley. Like, maybe it's because of how much they threw that in their faces. And I'm not saying it was terrible. It was still good. But it's just something fresh. And you said that Carmella gained more from Sasha. I would agree, but I feel like Sasha needed someone other than Bayley to have a nice feud with, because then it's not just Sasha and Bayley, Bayley. Now you can do Sasha and whoever, Bianca. You can do Sasha and Carmella, Sasha and whoever. Like it works, and I feel like she did a fantastic job. Both ladies, just again, guys, this TLC, man.
It kept delivering. I mean, there really was no stinker of a match. There wasn't a match that I'm like, oh, God, can we just move on? There really wasn't. And that's almost impossible on a WWE pay-per-view. And, I understand that the final match was not a, quote, wrestling match or traditional wrestling match, but it was great in terms of the storytelling. And I'm not trying to go back to the Fiend and Orton, but I know that a lot of people are thinking, yeah, but the Fiend and Orton, it was just it didn't make sense. It was not believable. Yeah, but again, I mean, I don't know. It made sense from the character of the Fiend. And when you look back to WrestleMania, my God, you think the Firefly Funhouse, which somehow people loved, was a believable, quote, match with John Cena. I mean, so when you look at the Fiend, he is just a character that you have to completely have a brain transplant to enjoy. Otherwise, you won't enjoy him. I mean, because he's like pro wrestling on steroids. And
we knew Randy Orton and the Fiend was going to be good, just because it's Randy Orton, man. Yes. Like, he always finds a way. Like, this isn't boring Orton from like 3-4 years ago. This is a different guy. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on in his life that he's completely revolutionized his character and just the way he acts. And he just feels so much bigger than he was even in the last like half a decade. And what's crazy? We've talked for 45 minutes already, which is just amazing, right? We haven't even talked about Kevin Owens yet.
I know.
Which is just crazy, but we have a few other matches to go until then. But let's get to them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I think what happened to answer your question very quickly, Edge happened to Randy Orton. Edge is the one I think completely revitalized Randy Orton's passion. And so I'm looking forward to Edge returning, and maybe that's sooner than later. But okay, the Hurt Business versus the New Day Raw Tag Team Championship. I'll take this one first. This was exactly what you'd expect from these four men. It was just a wrestling clinic. I enjoyed the style of all four men. Cedric Alexander getting the win. I mean, how often do you see him doing that? Taking the aggressive side of tagging Shelton, when he had the match at hand and he was about to win, and Cedric goes, "No, I'm going to take it." Hits the lumbar check, boom, 1, 2, 3. We have new Raw Tag Team Champions, and I think that it was the right move, because now the Hurt Business are a legit, as if they already weren't. I mean, now they have the gold to back it up with Bobby Lashley as United States champion, and now you have Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander as the Raw Tag Team Champions. It makes total sense. The New Day they haven't needed a Tag Team Championship in like 5 years. There's no need for them to ever have it again. It just doesn't make sense to me. Anytime they carry it, it's just to drop it to another team that they're trying to make. And that I understand. And I have no problem. I think it was the right move. I love when these four men get in the ring. It's going to be a very easy to follow great match. And that's exactly what we got here.
And I will say this, not disagree with you, but like just a different opinion on kind of like the New Day of the championships. I agree with everything when they were together with Big E, Kofi, and Xavier Woods, but I think having them have the championships won, and just with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods without Big E, I think it established them as tag team wrestlers now outside of Big E being the big powerhouse. And just because remember, they're transitioning off Big E now. So I think it was really good for them to kind of get that title quickly, remove it, like they obviously tonight, right? You saw, but I think it was good that they had at least some credibility outside of Big E, because then everybody would be like, well, it was always Big E that, it was a massive part of that group. But now you can say, oh, well, Kofi Kingston and Xavier did win the championship without him. So I definitely think there was something there. Now, as for the match, it was a wrestling clinic, man. It was just a good old-fashioned wrestling clinic. And the best thing I can honestly say about that is I'm so happy for Shelton Benjamin. He wins another WWE championship at his age. To look that damn good was absolutely criminal. He should not look that good. I'm sorry, that spot where he jumped up to the top ropes and did the whole I guess what's his name on NXT there? The celebrity guy, the football player or the soccer player guy.
Pat
McAfee
yes,
did that.
Yes.
Yeah, jumping on top of the thing. That's what I call it now because he did it a couple of times. And he did that spot and it was so smooth. And Cedric Alexander, always had that talent. And I like the storytelling at the end where, Cedric kind of took the win. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Kurt Angle. And what's his name? God, man, I'm so bad with names today. Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan. They had that little moment.
His son, you mean?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That was one of the funniest stories. By the way, people hate on Jason Jordan. His heat was Xbox heat. And I went back and I looked at some of his stuff, man, and it was so good. It was so good. Jason Jordan. Oh,
really?
So good. Oh, my God. You got to watch it now. Not the Kurt Angle family stuff, but like the heat he gained, like the little cocky comments. Oh, it's so good. You got to look back at it. Maybe we'll watch it on Twitch together.
Yeah. I haven't seen. Okay, no, I would.
Just a great match.
Yeah, it was
just a great wrestling match.
And like I said, Shelton Benjamin, he's 45 years old. This dude's 45, and he looks like this. So it's absurd. It's absurd. I'm happy for the Hurt Business. I think that MVP he is the glue of that team. But you have just the chemistry of these men are coming together so nicely. It's a team that when they got together, you're like, well, we'll see what it is. You don't have too much expectation, and you get Lashley as the United States champion, and now you have the tag team championships. This could be a team that is memorable moving forward, and I love MVP with the mouthpiece of that group. There's a lot of upside, and I hope that this continues. So, all right, let's get to the next part of TLC here, and that would be Asuka with a returning Charlotte Flair, who she chose as her fill-in for Lana, versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Boy, I'll give you a choice. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to take this one first?
I'll talk about the Charlotte first. You can talk about the match. How about we do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Charlotte coming back now. I know. I'm not sure if you saw my reaction video on it on YouTube.
Yeah, you specifically spoiled this for me, so yes.
I'm sure you saw some of the dirt sheets by this.
No?
Oh,
yeah.
Anyways, I actually didn't. That was my legitimate reaction. I was hoping for Kairi Sane there. I was really, really hoping for Kairi Sane, but it didn't happen. Honestly, I thought she looked, first of all, like the look of Charlotte Flair, she looked great. Like physically, she looks healthy. She leaned out. I think she just looked even more of a star than she was before. Now, I know the criticisms with Charlotte Flair. This is where I feel like we're going to be opposites. I understand how she gets opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And sometimes maybe it's not, fair that she keeps getting these opportunities. But you know what? She is absolutely effing insanely talented. And everything she does in the ring is just at such a high standard that when I see her wrestle, she's just better than most people. Like, I'm sorry, but Charlotte Flair is a better wrestler than Becky Lynch. I'm sorry, Charlotte Flair can go toe-to-toe with Asuka. Asuka's an amazing wrestler. She can go toe-to-toe. When you watch Charlotte Flair compete, and you see some of the wrestlers in, say, New Japan Pro Wrestling, great women wrestlers, Charlotte can compete there. You see AEW, they have some of the worst female wrestlers I've ever seen, right? And then you have ROH, and you have all these NXT, and NXT has a crazy division, right? Charlotte Flair can compete with those girls. And by the way, Rhea Ripley is going to be a future star, but that's another topic. I truly feel that Charlotte Flair gets more hate than she deserves. I feel that she has earned the opportunity. I know her name helps significantly, but this girl puts in the work, and she's damn good at what she does, and that's wrestle. Mm-hmm. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, so specifically on the Charlotte Flair return, I really wasn't that surprised, but when I saw your notification pop up, I'm like, oh, well, there goes all of the possibility.
Sorry about that.
But I think you're right. Number one, the way she looked, of course, she does look healthier. She does look leaner. there is something different about her this time around. I'm not sure.
What was that, Matt?
Yeah, well, it could be, well, I mean, it could be a little bit of a reduction up top. We'll see. But again, all of that to me is good. Like, all of that. I'm a fan of her just being like, she doesn't have to be this jacked up, muscled woman. She leaned out, and I like that look better in the women on WWE, not maybe in my personal life, but that's another topic for another time. Charlotte, to me right now, as you said, she is the gold standard of wrestling in WWE. I'm actually not going to disagree with you as much as people want.
What?
Just because of this. And I actually thought, it's funny you mentioned that, because during this match, I'm thinking to myself, boy, Charlotte left, and when she left, all I was thinking was, can we stop with Charlotte on every show, grabbing every championship, always being in an opportunity to grab the belt, whether it's the SmackDown, Raw, NXT, whatever. Can we just stop with the Charlotte Flair? This was back in June. She gets injured, she goes out, and now she's back 6 months later. And I actually had the conscious thought to myself of, yes, she has the Flair name, and yes, absolutely, that helped her get into this business. No question. That's not even the argument. But she took the ball from there and ran. If she was only here because of her name, she would not have been here past the tryouts. She would not have been here past the dark matches on Raw that they have. Like, that would not have happened. Yes, the Flair name is there, but she is doing the work. She is actually living up to it. That's the other half that people forget and go, oh, you're only here because of your father's name. That's a bunch of BS. They open the door, but do you know how much it takes to not just get in the door, but it takes infinitely more work to be successful at walking through that door and being able to carry the football down the field, so to speak. That's the other part people don't understand. It's not just the name. It's the work ethic. It's the look. It's the it factor that people don't understand. And I actually had that thought going, yeah, we've all hated on Charlotte for that, but like, she wouldn't be here if she's not that damn good in main eventing WrestleMania in the triple threat with Ronda and Becky. Like, and it's funny you bring that up, because I was actually thinking that to myself. So.
And as for the match itself, I thought the match was fine. Like, probably I would say like the worst match, but that's not meaning like anything really poor, because the card was just at such a high level that even like a 7.5 out of 10 match, it shouldn't be criticized, because I thought Nia Jax and Shayna did their best to kind of compete with Asuka and Charlotte, who are more technically gifted wrestlers, no doubt about it. But I thought it was a good back and forth affair, and I'm not shocked at all, with Asuka and Charlotte taking the championships there. I thought it was actually the right move. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting to me about all that is, what was the whole point of the whole Lana and Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler there?
I don't know.
That's the only thing that, like, okay, like I guess they could continue that without the championships, but I am happy for Lana, though, by the way. I am happy for her. But
I am too. Yeah, no. And I've crapped on her for, I mean, prior, like, so many weeks of just, like, get her off my TV screen, but they did a really good job of bringing actually sympathy to that character, which I thought was impossible. But, I mean, really, after everything that she's gone through with Lashley and everything else. But the only question I have, again, regarding Charlotte to you, I mean, do you think that she's going to be in this babyface role very long? Because Charlotte, to me, has never been a comfortable babyface. She was born to be a heel, I think. Her character just screams heel. She has had mildly successful runs as a babyface, but it felt forced. It never felt natural. It always kind of felt like, okay, this is the role I'm in, so I'm gonna try to force it into my character that is naturally a heel. It just never seemed to fit. Or are we just kind of counting the hours and days until she turns on Asuka and we get the inevitable Asuka versus Charlotte, probably at Rumble, Mania? I mean, who knows? What do you think?
I don't know if she's a Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I kind of did forget, but Raw. If she's Raw, then she's turning tomorrow. she's gonna go right back to being you can't have Charlotte.
Well, they're tag team champions, so.
I know, but you can still do something there. Like, they've done it before in the past. Like, I'm sure they can figure out creative writing. Okay, I don't get paid to do the writing. They do. So they need to come up with some way to keep Charlotte in that heelish type character, because it doesn't make sense. Charlotte cannot be a face. There's certain wrestlers, I believe, that can't be a face. I think The Miz is one of them that can't be a face. I think Charlotte, I guess you could do The Miz and Daniel Bryan tag team, which would be hilarious. I think that would be kind of funny. But still, there's certain characters that shouldn't be faces, and Charlotte's one of them. And I just see no way that she doesn't turn, at least in the next few weeks, somehow, even with the title. I don't know how, but that's what I'm thinking. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a pretty short-lived women's tag team championship run with these two, like very quick. I mean, they may even lose it before the Royal Rumble, because WWE gives away championship matches almost every single week for every championship. Like, they give away championship matches to the point of like not making them feel special anymore. I mean, that's the one downside. But
who takes it?
Oh boy, probably Shayna. I would say Shayna and Nia Jax. I mean, they could take it back, or maybe the Riot Squad. I mean, I don't know. You know, maybe hopefully the Riot Squad, honestly, because I think they actually could benefit from the championships. To me, I don't want to say Charlotte's above the women's tag team championship, but honestly, that championship doesn't have a whole lot of prestige anyway. And Asuka being tied down as the Raw Women's Champion, don't forget she's the Raw Women's Champion.
Asuka two belts.
Yeah, yeah, she's Asuka two belts, but Asuka has done nothing because WWE has had no one who they deem is credible enough to face Asuka. And I was saying this for months, that they are just waiting for Charlotte to return, because they're putting Asuka in a going nowhere situation, being involved in random storylines, helping out Lana for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, I knew that they were just kind of biding time for Charlotte's return, and that seems to be exactly what they've done. And now Charlotte's back, and it's really inevitable. I'm totally with you. I think this can happen as soon as the Royal Rumble, as in terms of their one-on-one for the Raw Women's Championship.
And I'll say this. Oh, sorry, Matt. And I'll say this quickly.
Yep.
I think it's time we see Io Shirai get called up, or I think it's time we see Rhea Ripley now. And when I mean call up, I don't mean I just want to see them pop on my screen like they do all the time. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking eventually, I don't know, maybe it is the Riot Squad or something, but I want to see Ruby Riott cost Charlotte Flair the tag team championship, which sets up a feud at Royal Rumble and or at WrestleMania. And I want to see that, and I want to see Rhea Ripley win that match and become a superstar. Because in my personal opinion, they have a mega star in NXT that could be absolutely huge, not for just the hardcore viewership. I think the casual viewership's going to relate to her well. I think the millennials are going to like her as well. And she's a great wrestler. She's good on the microphone and has a good entrance. Rhea Ripley, I know this is going to sound kind of crazy, but I felt this way kind of Charlotte. I feel this way with Rhea. I think she is the future of this company. I really, truly do.
You may not be wrong, and I know that they faced each other in the past with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair last year. That really, I mean, granted it was in front of nobody, and we never really got to see the full Raymond James Stadium, 80,000 people going nuts. But you're right, and I think it is time. To me, the bigger overarching issue is it's time to kind of refresh the women's rosters on Raw and SmackDown. And I'm not talking about doing a draft again with Raw and SmackDown. I think we've kind of seen almost every possible matchup happen. It's time to, I think, inject some new blood from NXT into Raw and or SmackDown. And you were absolutely right. Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley, absolutely, totally agree. It's just then, as Triple H always says, well then, who's replacing them on NXT? It's this constant cycle.
Retribution.
Oh God, no, please.
But don't you think Retribution? I know that sounds ridiculous, but I feel like Retribution would be a better group on NXT than they would be on the main roster, because they just need it so bad. Like, they need to get away from the main roster as fast as possible, repackage them into something, and then kind of have them re-debut.
Oh, yeah.
Because what they're doing right now is just not working.
What they've done since like week 2 wasn't something they should have continued with. It was just this idea, and my God, I've ranted about this so many times, so I'm not going to go back into it. But the idea was flawed from the get-go. Like, they came up with a good seed of something. I think maybe you're the one that said that. There was a seed of an idea that could have been really good, and that was something that they didn't continue to follow through with. They just go, oh, here, and Vince was like, damn it, I love it. And they're like, well, what are we going to do, Vince? What's the follow-through? How do they actually get contracts when they're destroying all of our stuff? We'll worry about it down the line, pal. And like, they never actually followed through on any type of logic at all. This thing was flawed from day one because they didn't think it through. But, okay. Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Universal Championship match at TLC. I'll let you go first. I've got a lot to say about this, and none of it's bad, but go ahead. I'll give it to you first.
Wow. That was wow. I mentioned on my channel, on the Botch Guy channel, that this is how I think I put the title as a career-defining moment for Kevin Owens. Yeah. I truly believe this is the best match he's ever had, and this is including the match he had with John Cena, the original match, and all the other in the trilogy he had with him. I feel like this Kevin Owens is the most relatable Kevin Owens we've ever had. I'm not sure if you watched the WWE Chronicles. They had a nice little documentary on Kevin Owens. I watched it with my wife. She hates wrestling, but she loves watching documentaries. So she kind of relates. Now she kind of watches like some of the kind of wrestling documentaries, and she said she just like really loved the character, loved the person. So I'm like, that's great, because that's what we want to see, not just the hardcore fan base, but the casual fan base. I feel like Kevin Owens not only looked like a star, I feel like this is the launching pad for him. The aggression that was shown. So let's get to the match now. The actual aggression and the forcefulness and the pace, the energy, the pace, like, I laugh with my, like, when I do videos, I have this energy, like, it just go, 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 right? Like, he had that pace today with the wrestling match. Matt, like, tell me about, like, how did he go at it so hard the entire time? Like, when Jey Uso came out, he was all, like, just bouncing around. With the Roman Reigns stuff, he was bouncing around. Some of the spots, pop-up powerbomb spots, was awesome. I love the spear Roman Reigns through the outside. We've done it before, but something about it felt, like, more natural. Roman Reigns, it continues to be an absolute gem of a gimmick. I could talk, honestly, I could talk a half an hour about this match, so I don't want to do that, but I thought it was an absolutely incredible performance by both guys, but Kevin Owens, career-defining match. The sky is the limit for him right now moving forward. Please don't mess this up, WWE, please.
That's what I'm worried about. And I think that WWE is probably looking at this not as necessarily as a launching point, even though he did have one of the career-defining moments, but rather a stepping stone for Roman Reigns to get to his next opponent. Could this, that's how, unfortunately, I think they're looking at it. And I don't think they ever looked at Kevin Owens as a destination. They're looking at him as a stepping stone. And I think that's really a big miscalculation. And one of the drawbacks, as we always talk about with no fans there, the fans can't really voice their actual voices. I mean, yes, they can type away and we can be all keyboard warriors and all that, but we can't verbally tell WWE right now why they should probably consider him as a regular main eventer, not the one that kind of visits here and there and gets put back into obscurity. I mean, when you think about it, this is the most relevant thing Kevin Owens has done since last year's WrestleMania, falling off the WrestleMania sign. I mean, it's essentially been, like 8 months since Kevin Owens has been back in any kind of relevancy, or the island of relevancy, as Roman likes to label it as. This was, to me, as you just put it was career defining. It was one of those moments you go, that's when the real Kevin Owens arrived. That's when his career turned around. Like, this is the moment, this is the match that you can point to when people have these careers that are Hall of Fame level. You go, oh, that was when things turned. And this could be that. And I agree, it is. It's just, does WWE identify with that, and do they take that and go, yeah, you're right, let's do something with Kevin Owens? Maybe not give him the championship, because Roman is doing such a damn good job. And if he wasn't so effing good, I would say, what are they doing not putting the belt on Owens? But it's crazy to think of that. That's how good Roman Reigns is, as I'm willing to sacrifice a loss for Kevin Owens not taking the belt because Roman's so damn good. But yes, this match itself it had me believing. This is when I talked at the top of the show. I said, some of these matches had me believing, even though you knew the outcome. This one was the one that I got totally invested in. It got me believing that Kevin Owens could win. There were certain spots that, oh my God, when he hit the stunner on Jey Uso, when he powerbombed Roman Reigns through the table on the outside of the ring towards the ramp. I said, oh my God, here we go. And Jey Uso just kept coming. Jey Uso, to his credit, played a big role in this. Like, he was hilarious, but so frustrating at the same time. Kevin Owens buries him on the outside of the ring with the whole the chairs and whatever else was available to him on the outside. This was just so well done and actually had me believing. And that's, as I said at the top, hard to do for somebody that's watched wrestling for so long, but they had me hook, line, and sinker.
Matt, I thought Kevin was going to win like 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is insane. I knew there's no chance he was going to win, but it was so booked so well. And the way how he took everybody out right before he climbs up, right? You know, like usually when they take everybody out before they climbs up, you have a good chance of actually grabbing it. And I knew the first time wasn't going to happen, but then the second time, and then the third time, it was just like, the whole time I was like, Jimmy, where are you?
Yes.
Jimmy, because he's apparently almost healthy now, right? I'm like, Jimmy, where are you, Jimmy? Jimmy Uso. I'm like, I was so certain Jimmy Uso was going to come out and help out Roman Reigns to help him win that, because they said family, right? Yep. So I thought that was what they were doing. No, they didn't do that, and it doesn't matter because it was so good. And now it sets up Jimmy does come back maybe as a face, right? And does the whole, oh, Jay, what are you doing type thing, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just Roman Reigns, if you threw him in the Attitude Era, I know people hate talking about the Attitude Era, but if you threw him with all those elite talented wrestlers in the Attitude Era, this character, this Roman, he would not look out of place at all. And for all the crap Vince McMahon does, and he deserves a lot of it, he saw something in Roman. I know the bloodlines are there, but he saw something extra in him. And I don't know why it took so damn long for him to turn heel, but I'm so happy he did, because this is not just a good gimmick, a good performer. This is literally helping me watch WWE every single week. He's that good.
Mm-hmm. No, he is not just carrying SmackDown on his back. I think he's carrying the entire WWE on his back to some degree. And yes, we have Drew McIntyre, who in his own right is doing a great job as champion. But Roman Reigns it's like, this is the Roman that we've been waiting for 6 years. This is the Roman that we all knew as fans were thinking, why are they keeping him babyface when there's a brilliant, masterful Hall of Fame heel underneath that? And we're like, what are they doing? Okay, and we kept saying, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to turn him heel. How do they not turn him heel here? Why don't they? And they've missed many, many great opportunities over the years. And I think Vince is probably looking, and he'll never admit it. I mean, with how big of an ego he has, of course, and rightfully so. But he will never admit that he probably lost a lot of money and a lot of great feuds over the years of not turning Roman, as he's thinking to himself, oh my God, this is great. Why didn't I do this sooner? He'll never admit that out loud, but in his mind, he's thinking it. And Roman Reigns is carrying the WWE on his back, and he doesn't even need Paul Heyman as a mouthpiece to do it. That's the crazy part. When they put Paul Heyman with him, you're thinking, oh, well, it's got to be because Roman sucks at promos. They're going to stick him with it, and WWE's probably thinking that too. And yet, Paul Heyman, yes, he cut a promo on a TLC, but it wasn't in place of Roman. It was really the kind of in addition to Roman. And that's just so insane that you don't even need Paul Heyman there to speak for you. So
credibility.
Yes.
He gave Paul Heyman to Roman Reigns as a backup for credibility. And Roman Reigns basically took that credibility and said, screw this, I'm going to run the show. And his mannerisms, his face, like when he was climbing the ladder and Kevin Owens grabbed Roman by the foot, that small little gesture he does where he's like, I'm not on camera, you can't really see what I'm doing.
I know what you're doing.
But he's like kind of like, come on, man. Like, you want to come at me still? And it's that perfect acting for that moment that sells the entire part of that struggle. And he did it in a promo on Monday or on SmackDown as well, where he was like, see you later, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever, when he was winking at the camera when he was leaving. And it's just so fun to see as a wrestling fan, Roman Reigns be this damn good. I don't even care if he steamrolls everybody anymore. This is just the dream character. And if we don't get The Rock versus Roman, I'm going to cry on my video. I'm telling you, because we need to have the tribal chief versus the real head of the table, man. Because I'm telling you, this has, like once every 10 years, you have a match that could like revolutionize kind of wrestling. I'm not saying, I know he's a part-timer, I know The Rock, but like he will help push it into the casual. The CM Punk one happened with the shoe promo, like The Rock versus Roman Reigns, in my honest opinion, could be one of probably top 5, maybe top 3. It could be like the most hyped matches of all time. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, I think, I don't know about you, but for me personally, I would just be going insane if that happened. Like, insane.
I would be too, and here's the thing. You know people that are out there going, wow, we don't need these part-timers coming in. It wouldn't be that great of a match. To them, I would say I'm going to call BS on anyone who says they wouldn't watch The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Like, I don't want to hear that, oh, they're not going to come back. I don't want to see that. You're still going to watch it, and you know what? You're probably going to have your friends watch it because it's The Rock who's back, and this storyline writes itself. So anyone that says they're not going to watch it is lying through their teeth. Even if they don't agree with it, they're still going to watch it, and that's all that matters. And The Rock back with Roman Reigns, it makes so much sense. It's almost painful if they don't do it. It would, the thing is, though, that what scares me is if The Rock comes back, if he does, is he really going to come back? Because, you don't have fans there. And assuming that we don't have live fans in person there for this WrestleMania match, which is really the only place that could take place, then The Rock's character is built off of that electricity. It's built off of that crowd reaction. How can you have The Rock back, and would he even be incentivized? Would he even want to be there if there's not going to be fans there?
You don't have to do it, right? Like, if you don't have to do it this WrestleMania, right? Like, Rock is not that old, and Roman Reigns is not that old. I understand how hot this gimmick is, but I don't see this gimmick being any less hot, in a year from now. Like, I could still see The Rock versus Roman in a WrestleMania main event, say, next year. Like, I understand it's so hot right now that you want to, stroke that fire, but, like, it's a match that makes itself. The moment The Rock interrupts Roman Reigns, the internet is going to blow up, and it's going to get so much press. Like, I can't even imagine the amount of press it's going to get, not just in the sports industry and in the entertainment industry as well. And I know, like, personally, I know The Rock's going to go all out in that match. I just feel The Rock will go absolutely all out in that match. It's not just going to be a catchphrase fest, because it's Roman, right? Because it's against Roman. I think he wants him to look good because The Rock's going to win that match. No?
I actually disagree. I think Roman should win that match, and I wouldn't want The Rock to win. As much as I love The Rock, but Rock's leaving at the end of the day. He goes back to Hollywood, and everything's fine.
Still think he's going to win. The Rock will not come back unless he wins. Unless he wants to put over his kind of person there. Like, it's The Rock. Remember John Cena and The Rock? I know that was a little different, but, like, how many people wanted Cena to win that match? And it didn't happen, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I understand what you're saying, and I get the whole family aspect of it, but I just feel like it doesn't have to be one match. Like, it could be 2 matches. We can have a, I don't know, man. I don't know. That could be, like, literally an hour podcast. Like, seriously.
We're going to go off the deep end on that because that is a hell of a topic. Again, it's not something that's even happened yet, but it's so right. It's right there, man.
Right
like,
there.
it's freaking right there. I'm sure Vince has proposed it to The Rock. I don't know. I haven't heard anything of The Rock, mulling it back and forth. I don't know. But to me, it's a great payday for The Rock, obviously, but it's more importantly a storyline that could really, really propel Roman Reigns to that next level. Even win, lose, or draw, it would still propel Roman Reigns to that elite level that Vince has wanted him to be at for so many years. So, and to your one last point about this match, with Roman Reigns smiling at Kevin Owens, that was a nice little touch. I like how the low blow happened, and actually was perfect because it's legal. And the announcers did point out, yes, it's legal, but he's taking shortcuts. That's a great way to frame it because you could say, oh, well, he's not, that's actually, he could have done that too, but it's still a low brow, low morale, or a low kind of low key thing to do that only a scumbag would do. And it's great storytelling. And to Michael Cole's credit and Corey Graves, they were on fire, as you said at the beginning of the show. They really, really sold this well. I loved the way that they were able to talk about this match and what it would mean. And it would be a huge upset. It would be one of the biggest in WWE history. They really were invested in this too. Everyone from top to bottom, to camera crew, to announcers, to both of these guys in the match. It was a great, I don't want to say it's 5-star because, you know, it's kind of a knee-jerk reaction, but I'd give it like a 4.5 out of 5 right now. It was that freaking good.
And honestly, Matt, I feel like this is the best damn collaboration pay-per-view we've done yet. It was just as good as TLC, in my opinion.
See, yeah, no, WWE's got competition. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, it's been a blast, and I know. Well, right now it's on the East Coast. It's midnight. So you're what, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, in your time. But no, it's been a blast. Do you have any final comments on the pay-per-view or anything on your channel that you'd like to let our listeners know about?
Just quickly on the pay-per-view, it was just an incredible pay-per-view. I don't give pay-per-views 10 out of 10 very often. It's very rare for me. Once in a blue moon, I'll do it. I think I only have 2 of them this entire year. This was one of them. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect pay-per-view. I loved everything about it, and I don't think they could have booked it much better. As for my YouTube channel, guys, I'm getting really close to 78,000 or 68,000, 78,000. I don't know, something like that. We're getting close. We're 30, 40 subs away. If you guys want to laugh and just have a good time and just talk wrestling with my community, because not only is your community incredible, we have an incredibly positive, respectful community over there as well. Very active. So yeah, head over there, leave me a subscription, leave me a like, subscribe there, and I would really appreciate it. And Matt, once again, thank you so much for having me. It was a blast. It's always a pleasure, and I will always do these shows with you as long as you'll have me.
Absolutely. Well, I think the feeling is mutual, and everyone, be careful. You can subscribe, but be careful of those damn notifications if you're watching a pay-per-view live.
Don't touch your phone. When you feel the match is getting close, just put your phone down. Don't look at it.
Just don't do it, because he's too damn good at putting stuff up quick. So turn your phone, or just like go to YouTube in your settings and turn the damn notifications off. Like, don't get any notifications while if you're watching the pay-per-view. So no. But
don't tell them that. They'll never know when I post videos.
Well, only for the pay-per-view. Only for the pay-per-view. After the pay-per-view, turn them back on. Yeah. So, but hey, it's been a blast. Again, we can do this again in. It doesn't have to be 6 weeks. As you said, if something crazy happens or we just want to talk about wrestling, we can absolutely do that. But if not, then yeah, it's going to be a long journey. I mean, we're going to get almost into freaking February before we talk again. So
we're doing it. We're going to do it. We're going to do something in between. I don't know what it is, but we'll figure something out, Matt.
Yeah, we'll absolutely. Figure something out. All righty. Well, have a good night.
Hey, take care, man. Thank you so much.
Yep. Bye.